because we're keeping ourselves here for another hour. It may go a little longer. I'm trying to go quick. I think what we can do today is do the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that where we kind of know we can handle quickly. Here's something that I'm going to suggest we do. 1, election commission. I think we can do that one relatively quickly.
Yeah, we can.
2, county clerk. I think we can do that one. I think we can do 3, the courts. I think we can do, IT.
Get started, see if we can get this.
Well, hold on, because I'm rearranging these. 4, let's do IT, and then 5, let's do register, building and codes, and then
Planning.
Planning could be more.
Not building and codes. I mean, that was very complicated, wasn't it? Wasn't that the one?
That's Marshall.
That's my.
By changing the,
That was engineering?
by changing, no.
Building and codes is.
Engineering.
Okay, that was different.
Building and codes we can do. Engineering is going to be hard. Let's try to do trustee. I think we can do that. If we can get through all those, that's a good chunk.
I don't want to rush it.
Well, but these should be relatively, I think.
What was that? The building?
Trustee clerks. Okay, so election commission. I took my notes here.
You did that last year.
I took my notes. And hold on a second.
We might have to do next Wednesday, Thursday night.
Which one? Can we, so you pull up the election commission?
You want to start with salaries or non-salaries?
Let's do non-salaries, because I think there's a bunch of stuff that we can pull right out.
You want to look at the notes and get us to pop up the notes?
Well, hold on, I have.
Oh, we go clerk first, what page was that?
Page 36, 37.
What page number?
36, 37. So here's stuff that because we're in the middle of the issue with the TRC, I went ahead and I don't think we're planning on doing, I think, between that and the convenience voting.
No.
We already passed all that for this year. I think we can bump all that. So here are the things that I think we can immediately remove. One of the TRC items was
Janitorial.
Janitorial, 36.
Janitorial removed. Hey, can we go and order from the top of that?
Well, we can go top. We can go top down.
On the election, yeah, because she's trying to change it for you. Yeah. Well, janitorial is the first one you went after.
Yeah.
She had 50,000 in there.
No, she has 26. She went from 2,500 to 26,000.
I'm on the wrong page.
No one be up here. She had 50,000.
I'm gonna keep my notes.
50,000? No.
Is that processing service?
Oh, that.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, so we can.
Oh, yeah, they can strike that.
We can strike that.
Strike what? Data processing services, that's what TRC does.
I don't.
That's for convenience voting. Oh, okay, yeah, we're.
As for the janitorial services attributable to TRC.
Well, I mean, just subtract out 2,500. Right, that was last year, so.
Yeah, that's all. You subtract 23,572 out of that.
Subtract that 23,572.
I mean, I said, you didn't do the data
Process.
Okay, you put it back down to 990.
81,000.
So subtract out the 40,000.
Which is that?
But in 89, where'd that 89 come from? So I guess we need to stop.
Yeah,
The first blue, 89, why is that 89?
Because she said, on her notes, she said 50,000 of it was to do with the convenience voting, so they removed 50.
You want to subtract 50,000?
so what is the other data processing, though? Are we gonna leave $8,000 increase? I don't know what it is.
I don't either, that's why I was like, oh, data services.
Data processing service.
You just increased about $8,000 over last year, so why is?
Why? I mean, she justified 50,000 of it.
What she said 50,000 was for the voting center.
What is their data process?
Well, if they have two elections versus the one, then it's probably going to go up some.
Okay, so keep the 8.
I would put that to 89.
Would be my assumption, but I could be wrong, but it's big.
What's in it? Janitorial and legal, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
zeroed
think
out.
the regular one, so we took the legal out.
We took out the additional.
You put it back where it was.
We took out the additional 40,000 from legal, that was for convenience voting, and we took out the additional 23,000 total for janitorial services for the TRCs.
And did we take data processing?
Yes, we took that 50,000 out of that.
58, yeah.
So,
What about, I guess, the postal charges? I mean,
yeah, postal service.
that needs to be probably brought back down, doesn't it? Because that's just because they're gonna mail out convenience noting, we're not doing it, so back down to 47.
Well, it won't be 40, because there's probably a bit of an increase again, because there's 2 elections this year.
Okay, so keep it, I'll get 52.
Yeah, so she removed 90,000, brought it down to 52.
Postal charges.
Yeah, postal charges, what
Postal charges.
was that about?
Yeah, so,
You gotta mail
I'm sorry,
out of
rentals.
so what was the rentals for?
What was that for?
I don't see.
It was probably to move a bunch of stuff to,
I would remove that. Put
That
that back.
takes back down to about 51.9.
Yes.
Well, now, she's got other contracted services, and that was for moving down there.
Hold on.
That's
It was this
36,000.
is an easier drop. You're checking. Did you want to move it to last year?
I would move it back.
Yes,
I don't
absolutely.
see why I don't have it as a note to TRC,
Oh, I think I know what the rental is. During elections, they rent trucks to take, equipment to places, I think. Is it something different?
No, that might be it, but it wouldn't.
So that won't be for next year.
I don't
It would be
know.
on that line, but it wouldn't.
it wouldn't be
30,000.
that much.
No, I think, I'm saying maybe that's what the 5,000 is.
Yeah, so
Yeah, but
there probably is more needed, but,
Like,
So what do you think?
we can justify it.
so let's double it. Go ahead and double it for the
I would-
case for.
I would feel more comfortable knowing exactly what it,
Well, she can come back, she's gonna come back and try to justify that.
Well, why don't you just keep it there then?
keep it at 5190 and then let her,
If it's going to come back to justify it.
Okay, well, we could do that.
I'm for that.
That's fine, she'll come back, but we're gonna need to probably move on that one, if there are 2 elections.
Not sure, I'd like to invite them back to.
They'll have their right to a
They'll-
second
they'll-
hearing
they'll-
when we tell them what that.
They'll what?
They'll need,
If I had a right to hear you.
Okay.
They'll bring the lawyer against her. We have to have a judge Oliver here.
More lawsuits.
Oh, you
We should invite them.
I mean, do we have to have him babysit our voting process? I mean, do we have to have an agreement here, Steve?
general construction
Do
material.
you think he can legislate in the bill, right?
Still not done, we're still under, we are still,
No, we got a lot more to go.
The maintenance and repairs, she said, was a move to TRC, the 36,837.
yeah,
Well, the-
we got that to
Oh,
630.
sorry.
That's other contractors.
Other contracted services.
I'm looking with my
If we
glasses
have-
up there and I
Because we don't have time.
We have all mine down here.
We have maybe I'll do an offer to do that for
I
us.
just need to see far away.
That's all, yeah, but should we flip the light, and you guys can see that screen pretty good.
No, I'm good. I want
So
to
you just subtracted out
35,000, that's what it is.
that other contracted
So
service.
is that going back down to 600?
Yes,
Yes.
I mean, we should probably, it's a little bit more than that.
it's more than that, because 35,000 is what she had on the list for me.
See,
35,000? Okay, we'll take 35,000 out of it.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, your next one is that data processing supplies, right? Like this, like double.
What did we do about custodial supplies? Nothing?
I mean, that's not really increased, only like $80.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking.
Data processing supplies.
Yeah, the big data.
That-
$60.
That will increase because.
That's.
Well, if you look at 23, it's kind of in line with
Drugs and
23.
medical supplies?
So I think it's probably, needs to be less.
What are you talking about, the data processing?
Yeah,
So
because
that's
if you look,
6540.
back to 23, it's kind of in line.
So 15, I mean, that's.
There's probably increase over the cost of the
So keep
balance.
that one in.
I would leave
Okay.
that.
Which one?
The 15.
Data processing supplies.
Leave that in supplies alone.
What kind of drugs are we
Yeah,
doing here?
23.
I don't know, that's a good question.
Yeah, what's the 670% increase in medical?
$6,500?
I know that our
Well,
quite a hand.
they actually-
670% increase.
There are other things, like over in storage, they have wheelchairs and stuff. We gotta be ready for our citizens. So there are things.
That's not comparable to 2023 at $15.
Like, put it at $1,000.
Put it at 5,
Well, it's $850, it's not 6,500.
well, 23 was only $15.
Yeah.
24, 57. 22, 500.
It doesn't matter what that much, I was just gonna give a little bit from last year, if it did something different.
850.
Put it at 850, that's fine, do it for one.
Mine's the difference, 56.95.
We have
We
no
don't know.
idea.
We don't know, that's
We have no
legit.
clue. Well,
A big
they-
increase.
Wheelchairs 3 years ago.
What's the next one you're messing with, general construction?
Yeah, general construction materials, obliterate that.
The general construction just completely gone.
Yeah.
Like, take it out.
Is Matt taking it up?
Yeah, you take it out, general construction, you're zeroing that out right now. Okay.
All right, let's keep going.
Structural supplies and materials, why is that 5,000? That's, yeah, that needs to come back down. That didn't exist in 23. I mean, why is that even in there? Can we zero that out? Huh?
There's no historical.
Let's zero that out. Can we zero,
Yeah,
like,
that was for TRC, I wrote it down.
yeah, TRC, so.
So zero.
We can put the TRC.
So zero.
Or, no, was it TRC or convenience voting?
I
Either
wrote,
way, it's zero.
I wrote question mark in TRC.
It's either way, it's zero.
The periodical,
They more than doubled office supplies.
Talking about the
That
$60,000.
that may be because, look back here.
Yeah.
Because you compare over here when you're looking at certain things,
you
because.
can always look at
you're allowed-
2023.
It's like for like in terms of how many elections they're running. Some of it is justified, all the stuff that they're convenience voting.
We get rid of the general construction materials.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, data processing equipment, like, what is this?
What about the,
Like, I don't,
yeah, that's,
That one needs to,
I would go back to the, 2023 or give $5,000.
or,
Bring it to,
$5,000.
put it $5,000.
$5,000, yeah, like, they're not.
What was that for, data processing?
Yeah.
data processing equipment.
Yeah.
I've never seen that
Yes,
cheaper.
that said move to TRC, is what she said, that's what I
Then
wrote down.
Then it's back to $5,000.
Furniture, fixtures,
Office equipment,
yeah, the furniture,
10,000%.
fixtures, maintenance equipment, other equipment, I would just zero those out.
Hang on, did we skip?
But I don't understand,
Instructional
I like to talk
materials.
about furniture and fixtures all over the place, everybody has $3,000.
No, if we,
Underneath.
I zeroed it out. Yeah, we zeroed it
So
out.
both of those were zeroed out?
No.
Are you sure?
You asked me one question, I gave you one answer, I don't know what you mean by that.
So we zeroed out general construction materials and
Yes.
instructional supplies?
Yes. Should be.
What are we looking at?
I don't think we did.
So what are we looking at? Here's the thing I'm worried about here, though.
Hey, Beth, can you go up a little bit?
Sorry.
you zero out office equipment,
Yeah, there's.
Yeah,
She did, yeah.
Here's the thing we need to worry about, like, it's the hours, because remember, they're doing two. They actually needed more. We need to go back up.
To what?
We need to go back, because they asked for, where's your,
What did we do with furniture and
You haven't
fixtures?
touched these salaries.
so we just, not, we aren't touching.
No, we're still-
Okay, that's fine.
You had 5,000 in for TRC, so that's what I removed.
It said what now, I'm sorry?
5,000 for TRC.
It was
Then that
zero.
was
So, yeah, we removed it.
It was zero last year, so we just completely removed it, or
We
maybe
removed
$5,000.
the 5,000 that she stated for the TRC.
There's still 2487.
2487.
Is the maintenance equipment, I assume that's all TRC?
That's furniture and fixtures.
There's maintenance.
No, maintenance equipment's the next line. Is that TRC?
I don't know.
well, yeah, look, there's not pretty
I know.
much here.
So if she's buying furniture and fixtures, that's gonna be for TRC.
I don't know why we would do.
Shouldn't the maintenance
I'll
department?
say you zero that
Yeah,
out.
I don't know what the maintenance.
I would zero that out.
Some offices buy.
It might just be for like all the chairs or something.
I mean, we're
You don't
going,
move. You should
it's
move.
in a week here, but,
No, we're not.
well, I mean, if we don't, I mean, we're gonna do this for like 3 months. We go into every $10. What matters is the big stuff, like the 50,000 and the 7,000.
So what if stuff adds up?
Well, it doesn't add up that much though, so keep going.
Well, I care about it.
Where are we at right now?
I'm part of
Which,
this committee.
are we on the maintenance equipment or?
So, well,
I mean,
Yeah, I've gotten all that, I'm with Christie, I wanna do this, I wanna take all the time it requires to get this
I'm
done.
gonna take a vote every hour. So we can either do the votes or like, at some point, you know, we're gonna be dry and not able to think straight.
But this is May, and this doesn't have to be done until August.
So, I mean, we can do what we want here. So do we wanna take it
Well,
out or
the
we wanna do it?
taxpayers need to.
All right, 0, 0, 0, 0, go, go. 0, 0. I'll do the whole damn thing out. 0, 0. Go, 0, 0, 0, yeah, 0, 0. That's what it was last year. So,
zero right here,
And the other cookie?
zero.
On the,
I don't know why we have to rush it.
yeah, there's no rush.
Well, we're
But
making
I
progress.
agree that, okay.
All right, so that, and office equipment, you zeroed that out, right?
Yeah, that's zero.
But for office equipment, I mean, it would be easier if she.
I mean, let's see what you like.
That was for moving filing machines.
Oh, the big
Yeah.
filing machine, yeah.
It was in the wrong one.
Yeah, it says move filing to TRC is what I read.
Okay, Matt,
All right, so we're done with,
can we look up at the deputies? Why is that at 23?
Well, that, you gotta go to the salary sheet there.
we're not doing salary right now. I mean,
Well, I'll probably do those next, just kind of.
okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's do that. So we're on that election commission salaries. All right, so.
What do you got on that?
What page?
Yeah.
36.
They're doing the salary.
Oh, are you talking about the scale?
It's,
Hey, whatever, I don't know.
I don't remember her talking about the new position. Did she?
It's gonna be A4.
She did not.
there you go.
Are we getting a new, as far as I know, did anybody hear her talk about if we were getting, we're not getting a new, I mean, I asked her, we got election day, we got 29, we're not getting another one. And she wasn't increasing or revoting, she was still keeping everything.
So I had, the notes I had here were, she was asking for she had 234, if I were to go back and look at, she was there at 234, which was like her last 2023. So 230, yeah, so if you go, because remember, you gotta go back, you gotta go 230.
Which line are you? Are you on deputy?
No, I'm right here.
Okay, the workers.
The workers.
The part-time, okay.
So, yeah, so all of these, the same thing for deputies, right, so 279. So this is where we've got to look. Now, I agree with you that I think we should remove that position, that extra position.
But let me,
Deputy.
Yes.
I'd like to speak to the election worker line item, if I may.
Which, are you on page A4 or are you on the,
On 36.
We're moving to
Are they amending the new position?
that's what he said.
page 36?
Are we good? I don't want to make this unilaterally. I think Gary and I are both saying we should remove this.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or at least ask her to support it.
Well, we'll remove it for now, and then she'll come, same with all the other stuff.
You interior green, that's good for me.
Well, no, I just,
Well, this is big stuff, I'm like, yeah.
well, I just don't recall the reason for it.
Just remove that
I'd
cover
just like
sheet.
to have a reason.
I didn't, there was no, because we didn't have any new locations. We didn't, like, what's the rationale? So, I agree.
We need a,
So, we can justify it.
oh, we'll get a legal letter and a court order next time, justify them.
What about the,
Yeah.
Uh,
Throwing away the county money.
so, that should be, I actually think that she's below on that one and she messed that up. So 145, I think that's 234. Because,
I've got it written down, 277.
well, she asked for 277, I think we go back to 234, give a little bit of a bump, you know? So you could go back 2 years, go to 234, but go give like 245.
What are we talking about?
Election workers, on page 36, election workers. It's 2023 is 234, she was asking for 277, 290.
Yeah, I think we do 245, that's 234 plus, some amount of, inflation. About 5%.
So they were the two, okay.
Well,
More like 4%.
it's not like we're giving them a raise, we're not just be adding more employees.
Could be.
And then we had, I mean, I don't know what the ability is of the election commission, but we had like this last election day, we had sites out there. Do y'all know we had 2 election places election day, one at Liberty Creek Middle and one at Liberty Creek
Raising
High School?
245.
They just show off their new building.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
one of my, I mean, we're budgeting here for 2 locations that were side by side. And we have other locations that there were no traffic at, and I understand that we have to have 1 polling location per district, and that we went to 24 districts. If we'd stayed at 12, we'd only been required to have 12 voting day locations. But, I mean, that's another topic, but
You making a motion to
Liberty
go back
Creek
to
High
12?
and Liberty Creek Middle School, I don't get it.
What do you want?
All I feel like we're doing is spending money. I don't think there's anything we can do. I don't know.
All right, so we can move on past that, we do 245.
Well, no, we were just talking about, you know, is it more people or more money in their
We don't-
pocket?
I don't know. I
So
don't
about
know.
277.
Well, that's why I was asking about, that's why I was asking about deputies.
Now,
Well, so,
That's where you go back to the year.
now,
so she's 279, she asked for 357, like, that's like, boy, that's very different.
That is a lot
That's
more.
a lot different. Like, so I think we bring it, I think we do a similar thing, like maybe.
How many deputies does she have? Do we get a first?
Right there, right there, page,
A4.
A4, yeah.
Hey, Ford from here?
A4,
Okay.
you got all your
So she went
tables.
279, 280, 290, 280, 290, and then 357, go to 300
So you want the main budget, you want these tables in A4?
on deputies.
why don't you delete the yellow there and then put in, you make it 300, if that's what you want?
Yes.
Just put one amount.
Deputy, I think,
You delete everything you added.
What was it? We took that 36,538.
oh, I see.
You can delete it and then put 10,000 just on one of the deputies and let her adjust it back.
Why does she have two of each numbered deputy? She's got one election deputy, she's got two twos and two threes.
That's why I was asking for the org chart. Do we have an org chart?
Yeah, they do.
They do? She did or didn't?
I think
Okay.
she did.
Steve's saying yes, we got one.
You got one?
Attorney.
Oh, sure.
He's doing official legal.
I don't think I got my copy. Where's it?
It's my copy, that's yours. What was you asking?
I just want to look at the election org chart.
So okay, so what just happened, now we're 305, this makes more sense. So, all right, this makes more sense. So you went from 290 to 305, that's 5% COLA only.
Yes.
I mean, look, I know we're in a bit of an argument here with the.
Oh,
like,
that's right. Okay, thank you.
But I would like to, we're trying to even people out, so do we have, hey, David, do we have anything here that's, where we can see?
You wanna make it 305 or?
Well, no, we have it 305. Do we have anything like market share?
For election, yes.
For elections, that's where, maybe they don't need anything, maybe they do. I don't want the work to be tough.
Hey, Matt. See on the org chart.
So the 357 went to 305.
Somebody doesn't have it.
Okay, it says election.
43,000.
Okay, it has all of your deputies as the average, and, it's 43,565.
So,
Well, here's my question. Are we ready to make this decision?
close. I mean, we're relatively
I know.
close here.
39, not taking it.
Okay, so, maybe, you could do like 500 across the board here. Like a little bit more, like.
This has two twos, two threes, and one four, and no ones.
Yeah, I know, she got a 4 in there. It's not on here.
What happens if you do like
And there's
$750?
$6,000.
$750 down the line.
Got the assistant.
Well, I gotta be able to put it in.
Oh, I see.
Minority
Alright.
two, majority.
I'm not saying we're gonna keep this guy, I'm just.
Like up here on the left.
Yeah, see, that's all the people that put her in power, but we're concerned about everything.
I'm just always going out there.
Somehow it's.
Just to.
I know Ms. Market, she had the market.
It's 43,566.
Yeah.
We're a little below. So that gets us to 310, and what's our average now? So we're still a little bit close. Oh, we're getting close.
I mean, I understand what you're making them at market, and you're going down the list, but the administrative assistant is already.
No, I get it, we can bumps.
That's a deputy.
That's the chief
That's the
deputy.
deputy, yeah.
So what you're saying is,
Okay. So that's our, just,
at the end of the day, what we can do is say, hey, look, we can sum it all up, we can give her some amount, and she's gonna end up being able to distribute that kind of out. There's a certain layer where we don't have the ability to like force it. But I don't know, I think we're going to do 1,000 each, and that gets us right at market.
how many people are in this office? Is this all of them? 36, 37?
All of the full,
So 4 times 8? 4 times 8?
Yeah, I think so.
Pull that number there. 7 in herself.
So it's 8, including the director.
So I mean, I do think we can get it out. And that gets us basic, we're slightly under, but comfortable.
Slightly under what, man?
Market. The market's 42, 43, and this gets like close to 41.
41,566 was back in 2023.
So,
What's that, 43?
so we're still a bit below, but let's stay here for now and just play it out.
David, what are you seeing market?
It's on this sheet right here.
Oh,
We got copies if you guys want copies.
So,
You want to give us the copies?
what is it now?
Pass those copies out.
where are we at?
My mechanic.
Here you go.
What's our average?
Oh, and they're up to follow, so we're going to have to be careful.
We're a little below market still, but that's,
311 now.
yeah, 312.
You gotta remember, the average market, so if you have somebody been there for 30 years, they probably increase total average market.
312 what?
312,000, that's the total, that's not my favorite.
He was suggesting Mr.
312.
Well, I already got this one.
Hey,
Terry, she gave me one earlier.
Yeah, that was my copy with the yellow.
Oh, it's, I'm already on it. Oh, you didn't tell me that.
That's right, I find it here, I shelved it.
No, so that was yours?
So let's just say, let's everybody's looking at this, let's talk about
I
it.
already got one.
This, the far right column is the median for all large counties, and then over here on the next is the top pay, the median for the top pay. So if you have a 30-year employee, they may be somewhere, should be somewhere above the median. It would make sense if they're above that median, so they're closer to that top pay.
What did you say about the left?
The far right.
The far right.
Okay, the far right is going to have, it looks at medium actual base pay for all these positions, okay? And your far left shows the department and then the position, okay? If you go over like 1, 2, 3 columns, that is the median, which means the middle for the top pay range for that. So if you have a 30-year employee, if they're probably closer to that median for the top pay. Would make sense too, but if they're not even reaching the first, you probably want to aim for at least the medium to actual. Does that make sense?
And David,
I get mine a copy.
so are we good with this one? Are we good for now? I mean, if we're still a little below market, but we gave the 5% COLA and another.
Yeah, because we're looking at some people are above market, some people
Some
are below,
below, I
some
mean, it's close.
we're getting ready to do this to the county clerk, so.
And I think that our comps are not including the generous retirement plan that we have.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Correct.
I mean, so if we're, I mean,
Can we address that? I mean,
yeah.
we roughly average like 40% in benefits. Like,
It's working out about.
It's 11.39 for retirement. I'm sorry, 6.9. It keeps changing. 7.65 for Social Security, Medicare, and then whatever health and dental.
I think it was about, I thought we were using about 1.3 wrap rate.
It's probably close to 1. It's according to what your salaries are, they'll vary. Like those first ones will vary with your salary, but your health, the lower your salary is, the higher
Well, that's
percentage.
true, like it is only so.
They're fixed amounts, right? That's why you can't really count a comp rate percentage.
I mean, so David brought it up earlier. I mean, if you're looking at like what Terry's mentioned, we're doing what other counties don't in paying the retirement. And if we're talking about people just want to see the dollars, and that's an easy way to see the dollars immediately.
I mean, it was a discussion during our sheriff's,
I mean,
and
that's something we
it
can
was
just.
something that, it had interest.
Some of the
We could do more.
employees were interested in like doing that, or
No,
cash.
Craddock was
No,
really, Deputy Craddock said that would, if we move that to the beginning salaries, it could could definitely interest them. I mean, it's a big number,
It's
if you
about,
look at it.
several of your counties are just like us. Several of them make them pay 5%.
Yeah, some
A few have what's called a hybrid. And then Davidson County, for instance, isn't even on TCO. They got a completely different retirement.
But we're paying all of it. We don't make them pay any.
But there's several other
The question
counties.
is that what can we do now?
I just think the easiest thing to do is get close to market because you know the 5% kind of sways both directions. If you're close, then you've reached the closest.
I think what he's getting at though, and maybe we do need to consider this, I would argue probably need to do it outside of this, like get through this, but what we need to do is decide whether we want to offer an option to like have people take their own. It'll make things more complicated.
TCRS. Okay, here's where we're at. TCRS, you have to take TCRS as a required employment
So we
full-time.
pay all of it.
The county can change where new employees have to pay 5%.
Correct.
Not existing.
But I
We
think
can't change today's people.
correct, which is why I think this is done, this.
I think it's worth doing, because money's only gonna get harder to come by, not easier to
Yeah.
come by. And everybody always wants more money, needs more money.
But the 5% goes both directions. Some have it like us, some don't. So I'm saying the bottom, it does affect it a little bit, but not the whole 5% because some of them do just like us, several of them.
But
There was
I
one or
think
two that didn't.
we could be more competitive when we go to hiring. All of this, we can't fill positions. And instead of offering $23 an hour, we'll be offering $27 an
Correct,
hour.
yeah, that's my point.
And
That's exactly where I'm coming from.
that's when, when we hear, well, Chick-fil-A makes $22 an hour, well, it kind of makes it.
Is that not a decision we're able to make right now, or just, did we not?
No, that's,
Are you saying it only
That's
new employees?
but the sooner it's addressed,
But,
It's actually getting that
I mean, is anybody in opposition to that, or is it just need more time to think about it?
well,
I think
it's a big thing.
It's a big thing,
It is a
it has a lot of flow down stuff, I mean,
But we're talking about new employees, I mean, but it's big.
I think we would need to consider it as its own.
But this is where the education system has their hybrids and their
Yeah, the
traditional
military did the
employees.
same
They,
thing.
they did it a long time ago.
Military, went from.
Yeah, military did that too.
Everybody was starting doing this,
Doing what?
basically having certain people at a certain point. I mean,
So doing,
Well, we're talking about
The new
maintenance.
employees.
what we're just getting at is that this is, I mean,
This isn't going away. Everybody's gonna keep complaining, we don't have enough for starting pay, well, here's a way we can fix it
Right,
today.
I think what Terry's saying, and I'm agreeing with, is like, I don't know that we'll be able to tackle this in conjunction with this right now.
And I think it also affects the schools too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, schools too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Non-certified people, they're,
As far as trying
I
to
think it's
recruit,
agree.
yeah.
we don't pay them, but they pay into the same.
But if we recruit, if we're looking at
Like the teachers,
recruiting
yeah.
and we're
Yeah,
talking
no.
about vacant
That's
positions,
classified there.
Yeah,
this makes us
Sure.
more desirable.
correct, and you're
And
still
we
getting
hear it
great
over and over.
benefits.
Mr. Ellis talked about it. Young people don't care. And
Well, it's not that they don't care.
they don't
that
see it.
No,
They know it.
They're ignoring that.
young people don't see it because they have to go buy a freaking McDonald's hamburger for $7.
Yeah.
So like, that's why we say all the time, young people don't care, that's bullshit. They can't afford to live, so anyway.
A lot of times, truly, Matt, they never thought about it.
Well, yes and no, I mean, dude, $50,000, it's $50,000 because of like 15-20% effective inflation year over year and housing prices costing 3 times what they used to.
I can't tell you how many people I've talked back into working for me because they were gonna go work for an extra $1 an hour in Lebanon and realized they'd spend $2 or $3 a day. on
Well, I
gas.
get it, I get it, but that's like, we're getting really philosophical here, but I
Right.
mean, I just hate it when people are like, well, young people don't want, I'm like, no, young people are getting
Well, to bring it back in for us, I was just asking the question, so we're talking about dollars and talking about what can we do to bring that up, if we're talking about competitive pay, because that complaint is not gonna go away.
I agree.
And
It's gonna be
we
great.
I
6 months
in
from now.
terms of policy,
Since we pass your budget, all the stuff, we ask for more money in September, so let's,
let's tackle, I just don't think we're gonna be able to.
but I just wanna know, when can we tackle it?
Oh, but I'll put it on the next budget meeting,
And this
after this, after we do this.
This is totally
So
not
it's
something that affects this, but it affects retention. I saw on another county. How do we pay longevity? Is it one check out, or do we average it over every
It's one
paycheck?
check.
One check, and when do we give it to them on their
Their
anniversary?
anniversary, second payroll on their anniversary month.
So they have to stay here until they get it? So some counties, for budgeting reasons, I've seen, they budget whether they're gonna pay longevity. There was one out in East Tennessee. I'm not saying we should do away with that. I like that, never mind. I
We
thought if
pay it,
average
we do budget the same way.
done with this one?
I think we're done with this one.
For now.
After I'm up here.
Did you have anything else?
Hey, I just want to know how much we totally cut off this though.
What did we end up doing with that big number of, how many, the deputies?
Oh,
312,061. 312,061.
Okay, all right.
So, how much did we totally save? After we moved all that?
We don't know.
Yeah, what do we,
Y'all had it.
so the dollar difference was, well, we can look at it here. Let's look at it here versus what this is, and what's that?
We saved, that's $500,000.
All right, good start, good start.
You can look at the front of the general fund, that big number that you're trying to get rid of, that big.
Okay, county clerk, that's $500,000, let's start this. County clerk,
What page are we on for, doesn't it, what?
Dave, what page is county clerk?
She's on, I'm looking at A14.
You look at this other thing.
She's on A14 for the, her.
47.
Yeah, 47.
And 47.
Yeah.
All right, so, hers actually didn't look, we need to look at her,
She was asking for 11%.
yeah.
And you looked at it earlier when Matt wasn't here.
48,235 is the average median for all deputy clerks. See, that you got, if you look at this, it only has one total, which would include your top end and everything. So that's 48,235 would be the top end for a deputy.
Well, I remember thinking hers is pretty close, wasn't it?
Already?
Close to
Hers is
average.
pretty close.
With the 5% or?
With both together. With both together. She was under,
Yes, so do we want to just,
Her budget's going up 8%, 8.37%, is that what I see?
yeah, across the board. I mean, I remember looking at this one.
Carolyn runs a tight ship.
and keeping it, so we're pretty good on this one? We feel good
She has
about,
a lot of turnover too.
so would this help her with that turnover, I guess?
I mean, I don't think we messed with this too much.
We talked about it, again, before you got here, man, it seemed pretty,
It looks,
It's 187,000. And she makes money, so
I think we leave it alone.
I do too.
I think we leave it
Are
alone.
and back to when are we gonna look at the fee stuff? I mean, Carolyn didn't know how her fees compare to other counties. I mean, we're talking expenses here, but I'm talking revenue. I mean, what does a marriage license cost here, and what does a marriage license cost in Robertson?
We should actually ask her back to say, hey,
I
look.
did ask for that, she didn't know.
Well, no, ask her back. Ask her, say, hey, look, we're gonna.
can we make a note to have her back so we can know
They
that,
ask her, hey, David, can we do that?
do we need to look at?
We're not gonna, we want to ask her about fees.
Yeah, she needs to research that first.
Ask her if she can come give her.
Everybody wants to pay appearance to the
Well, to Harry's point, we don't have to wait a while.
Yeah, no, but I mean.
Most of your fees are set up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just.
Their staff is what,
I'm just looking
Their mother
for
said,
both.
I don't want to raise it, not very much.
And I just don't wanna miss that.
No, I'm with it, but I'm with it. We are only gonna argue when it comes to her.
I looked at some budget hearings last year, and somebody said their furniture wasn't.
If I wasn't for it, I would just do it.
And I was like.
Oh, we gotta do a huge fight over a piece of furniture for the courthouse. All right, so we're good with this one.
Well, there's some discussion over here.
All right,
Okay.
what is
Are we
it?
on the clerk?
An 11% increase is a lot.
Well, I mean, some of that's market, I mean, Toby.
Well, you're trying to bring them back to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, some of this is,
Okay, so let's look at them. Which
if we're
one?
gonna come down some, that's okay. But David,
If you
No,
give the county.
are you talking about the postal charges or what?
no, because like, the sheriff's deputies already got some.
Some people been,
Because they're already.
and some people are gonna bring it down, too much.
Yeah, so, I mean, like the, it just kind of depends on where the market is.
We'll know where this number's gonna net out tomorrow night,
Yeah, that's right.
when we figure out what the full pile of stuff.
But how is the deputy cost in the clerk's office? I mean, can we average them all together when we?
Part-time.
Yeah, I mean, what, he's looking at averages, and what we're, and then we're pulling together and best one together, and then we just do an average, the best we can do, and then see like way, way higher, and then ask if that person like, if they've been there 20 years, that makes sense. So it's not a perfect science.
It's a lot. I mean, people are gonna call me and they're gonna be like, county employees got 11
Yeah.
Yeah, they
And they're gonna say, you get 18 holidays this year on election day.
But some of these
And they have
people
the benefits.
But some of these people are leaving, they're voting with their feet, you know, like,
You know, people leave every day. People
Yeah.
left last year and people left 100 years ago.
when you got, I mean,
And
if
the year
it's a
before
little
that,
bit,
the year before that.
if it's a little bit,
I'm just saying, this is the taxpayers' money, and they're gonna say, this is the, they're gonna tell me, they're gonna say, I got a 2% raise. Last year, I didn't get anything. Well, I've never in my life got more than 3%.
So she had one start people at 35,350. 31st.
and if it's,
I
you know,
agree.
it's also different when you're like 11% off the 30,000 is very different than, I mean, that's how I'll answer if somebody says, I'll be like, oh, you know what I'll tell them, because I mean, maybe just lose me a vote, but I'll be like, you wanna go work for $30,000? No, okay, cool then.
$17 an hour.
I mean, you know,
I'm just, you know,
But not everybody can be the executive director either.
I get it.
There's education, there's experience, there's all kinds of things that factor into what job you are.
I'm trying to be, I mean, at least I'm laying out my rationale, which is, I'm trying to be logically consistent with, we have an objective market view, and I can go back and say, hey, yes, this one was 11, and this one was 2, and this one was 15, because the market has gone crazy over the last 3 years, and I
Well,
support that.
and the county has not proportionately
Kept
up
Correct.
at department by department level. They have boosted some and not boosted others, just as,
they agree.
and it's not been, there's not been the parity there.
Correct.
That's one thing we said during the last budget cycle. Our goal this year is to try to make people whole that have been neglected for the past 8 or 10 years.
Correct.
On the county general side.
On the county side, and then we want to do, we all decided we wanted to do that through all these guys first before we determine what we want to get from the schools. So
Correct, this is a priority.
So I think
It is.
we said, at least I say this is, county employees are the priority this year. We're, you know, we're being hardcore on the capital stuff, we were super draconian last year, and this is the year that we're trying to like.
Bring it up.
It doesn't have to be across the board, everybody gets 11%.
No, we're not. We're just taking, that's why we're taking the department.
No, I'm talking about each department, it has to be the whole department.
Well, those are just, that's not, I mean, that's not just what's happening, they're gonna be kind of all over the place, but those are roll-ups that you're looking at. Those are, it's kind of like, yeah, it's gonna be 11%, but some might get 5, some might get 7, some might get 15. You know, just like we did with Josh.
So I'm saying, so is the person that's making the 35,000, what if they decide to give them 2%, and they give the person that makes, I don't know, 70, whatever?
Is that employee on
That's
line
not-
14 gets
they're
that
getting-
amount of money, or is it getting reallocated somewhere else?
You're not
Getting
really-
reallocated
you're not
somewhere else,
really knowing
anywhere.
So once we give them the money, they can do whatever they want. So the higher level people can just keep all the money for themselves.
Well, we're gonna,
Yes and no.
yes,
That's what I'm
They can within a
They've
line
got
item.
adjusted.
So
They
if
got
one of them
bring
is
up to us.
director and somebody was here, they cannot take money from this person and move them to director or
that's
somewhere.
right.
So they're separate lines. You
So
can-
we're-
Without approval from us.
And they're-
These are all the
You
same.
got line item control.
But what I do think we should do, at least what I would like to do, is prioritize from the bottom up. So like.
I agree.
Yeah, so like we take care of it, and that, so in this particular case, because all these are equivalent line items, there's not much we can do.
That's what these are. These are.
So,
This is
but
top management.
Carolyn's,
Director level people are different.
Carolyn's done that, I mean, she's only increasing her own 5%.
And to speak to what
We
you're
heard
saying,
the
Chrissy,
statutory.
I've started talking to the law office a little bit, and I've talked to Mr. Long about the EPA, the Equal, is it Payment Act?
Oh, yeah, equal pay.
Equal Pay Act, and I'm getting some feedback on where we have to be with that, because we have to make sure where we're coming with that. I'm trying to find somebody that can bring it,
The equal pay is only if you're doing it in some discriminatory manner. In other words,
Right.
you're paid
and
male
they
higher
think
than
it is.
females or something of that nature. You can pay positions differently, you don't pay positions equally because they're based on training and requirements, but you're talking equal pay, is it, the pay's equal, but it's not based on something like sex or age or something of that
Or
nature.
their, thought that it was based on.
do with, Carol and stuff.
We would have,
These are
not the directors.
Is there anybody who has a proposal of shift?
These are ladies working
for, county clerk? So are we good with it? Take a vote on it? All right. Okay, so let's do courts. Let's do general sessions 1.
Are we voted?
No, I saw.
Should we do Ron?
North, south, everybody.
I mean, his was pretty.
Honestly, the courts were like super thin.
Hey, Matt, can you have Beth just to make the ones you're working on, David and green on that sheet
Yes,
we're on?
do that.
Can you go back here real quick, make them a light green?
What are we doing, general sessions?
County clerk.
1?
And election, A18 done.
A18, and what's is the other?
What page is, here it is.
And we'll have that thing where people get this.
Okay, here we go. Like, he asked for,
He asked for $5,000.
He asked for $30,000, his total was $30,000 difference.
I didn't have a problem with anything he asked for.
Nothing.
Well, just leave it.
Not
I
one
would-
thing.
Well, can
I
we
say
look
we
at
leave it.
Yeah, sure.
So we leave Ron.
Let's make sure that they're at market too.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
I mean,
maybe
we
do
both
more.
have people that haven't asked.
That's fair. Yeah, let's look.
And I heard him, he's gotten a raise for a long time.
So,
But do you even have that as a comparable?
good point.
What you have to do is just first look at courts or administrative, and find somebody that's close, and that way you don't have an idea. Because they're both labeled administrative assistants, so it's really not gonna be clear.
I mean, we could look also at the other courts, at least
Yes.
within the county. Like, and try to get,
We have a page number.
50.
Well, one of them's been there since 1996.
I mean, I get there's some longevity things, but.
Yeah, his big ones are stuff he doesn't have control over, like social security and longevity.
How did they get overlooked for so many years without getting a raise?
Well, we're gonna take care of it.
It's always been who can
Sell that.
sell
And, I
the
mean,
best.
and it's also like, I mean, you know, this is the nasty thing about politics. If you got more people, certain people can whip up he's got very few people who work for him. And other people have hundreds that they can. Activate.
It's like a union.
Yeah. So,
Like Scotland.
All right, so we're looking at, there's a budget in okay, so he has 2 assistants in there.
Correct. GS2 also has 2 admin assistants.
I mean, one is.
So
They're
we got
fairly
three.
comparable.
One has been there 2 years longer than the one in GS1. But there's a big discrepancy.
That one, but how long has that one been there?
96.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, that makes sense.
This one's been here since 94.
Well.
But-
That makes less,
But do you know their actual duties is the issue?
that's it, you know.
That's what Terry and I talked about.
Isn't this the one where he was saying that one got paid for, was this the one where one got paid for one grant and the other, and then we
No.
switched them? That was different, that
That's
was,
drug
that was
court.
in recovery.
Correct.
So,
Absolutely. This thing is useful to a small degree, but not completely.
it's super granular, like, we don't know those duties.
Now, this is what we did back in 22. You had the survey that was specific to the county, and it had rates and pay.
Give that $100 or no?
And 22, and it's old, and it's matching it to one crazy and all. About, like, 300 years.
It's so small.
Really,
And
you can do it.
can you verify, we could do this, can you
Make a
verify
lot
those?
made in 2022.
What do you say? They have to, I'll do that. So
If
if
you
we come back,
Yeah,
Cost of living hadn't gone up. Oh, get cold.
I mean, you have to go.
Yeah,
Government.
I'm good with what they have. I mean, I would be good with bumping it up like 30.
That's why I got out of that crazy fast, there's been a lot of jobs.
I'm talking about the.
See, that's like a real estate.
So are we done with general sessions 1?
I'm talking about total.
Talking about 30.
Why don't we just keep it what he asked us then, because we can't compare. So let's, he asked for that, let's do that.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm looking at the roll. I'm sorry. I wasn't going, just say, hey, this is what we do.
So if you guys are good, that'd be 3.
So I would leave that one alone. It's very small. It's asking for $30,000.
You've got that one, drug court, which is grants, and then you have probation.
And drug court is $70,000, but that's grant.
You're
And
done.
then probation.
What?
Probation's where you ask for one new person and the 5,000, but he's raising.
What's the one?
Yeah, I was gonna do it. I brought it up.
But he,
The
But he comes from fees for drugs.
He's actually saving money on that. Yeah.
Been in my van.
So, I mean, I don't think we need to do anything. So I think we don't need to do anything on drug court, anything on recovery.
How much are we bringing in the new employees?
Where are we at, Matt? What's going on?
Hey, let's come back. Are we good with general sessions? Hey, everybody, are we good? We're good with general sessions one?
Yes.
Yes.
I have a
What
question.
about probation?
How much are we paying?
I mean, everything runs all.
Probation, you get it.
All right, so now let's do recovery. So there's one recovery court that.
Where are we on?
It's the first recovery court, and he saved us almost $10,000. I think we can green that one.
Yes.
Green that.
So recovery, drug court, that's,
So, now we're.
42% increase?
That's 42, but that's grant. That is pure flow,
Yeah.
correct?
Okay.
Loan.
And,
Okay.
it's still people's money, but I'm good
I
with
mean,
it.
we green that one, then we have, another one, which saves us $10,000, that's a grant one, I think we green that one.
We're talking about probation now?
We're still on recovery, you guys are all on recovery.
She's
Oh, everybody's all on.
So my question was, the person that we're gonna have run the deaf school, is that a new position and how much were we paying?
No, he said they were gonna.
He's gonna promote somebody, so we need to get back there using you.
There is.
And is,
But it was gonna,
he's gonna promote
going up from 40 to 50,
Yeah.
He's giving
was gonna
probation.
pay
We're only,
for it.
he was only needing 30,000 extra.
But he had savings, elsewhere.
He's bringing in more fees, he's increasing the fees 25% and bringing in
Goes
more.
from $40 to $50.
Yeah, he's bringing in more fees.
I mean, I'm all happy with that, I just wanna work on both sides.
All right,
Get you, I get it.
so I think we're at, general session.
We did it.
No, we had somebody to check it, yeah,
Oh, sorry,
my
my bad.
He's asked for several.
Yeah, that's a complicated one.
Yeah, we're gonna do an ad.
No, probation.
We just want to, we're going to do it today, right?
They've already done.
So, we haven't.
We okay.
So I
Oh, yeah, I just, yeah, I know, like I said, we're okay with
Yeah.
all of that.
It's, so he asked me for some additional for director, is that what we want?
No.
Those are rates.
Those are raises.
Those are raises.
Oh, here, sorry, this is.
Is that evaluation date correct? 103, in August 19th? August 19th.
Yeah, that's lame. So what's the market value for those kids?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, you just need for all of that.
Yeah,
figure out how.
Hey, David.
That's not, can you market value it?
Oh, okay.
All of them are lawyers except for.
Wait, no, that's obviously not an attorney or anything.
I mean, that's a big adjustment.
And then next year, we're gonna put up more money on.
Yeah, we need to look at that, we need to look at those first. I get it, that's a lot, right? I mean, so I kind of.
Well, yeah.
They're the only ones that can.
That's a magistrate.
Okay, so what is, like a court service director, do we have anything equivalent there?
Which one are we on?
Be like a,
What's our assistant?
how many people work for you? One or two?
We had
Two, juvenile?
So,
Anybody?
same way.
What about that magistrate too?
The magistrate is a lawyer and she drives cases.
Okay. So we're on, we're on juvenile court right now?
Yeah, we're looking at these two right here. Court service director.
Which page is that? Page one.
I like that.
We can look at the 26.
Go ahead, Terry.
With the magistrate here, if you notice, line 9, with the bump there, what I was just pointing out is we have a lawyer there that we're looking at a proposal of $131,000. We have a staff lawyer here that goes to trial for us, so we have an $89,000 right now.
Yeah, well, we're,
So I'd like to-
his boss is asked.
So
So, yeah.
let's put a vote 115.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, so 115 here, so that takes,
Do we have any
how much?
lawyer type people?
The assistant court director is a lawyer too.
Oh, yeah.
That's Alice.
So, I mean,
Which
you
number?
don't try to cases or any other.
Yeah, you could go into court with a premium. So what did he ask, what did the director ask for you?
Just go ahead and all do, if you get over, I think it's like 119. Okay. And the 119 was slightly below the last market.
So I said, let's
do you wanna make it 119?
We'll take a little haircut off. Let's
take a haircut.
115. Nice round number. You kicked me for $4,000 difference. I said everybody's face, you know, there you go. But you are under, and that person's under, but not as much under as they wanna make it there.
Would you make it?
So,
115.
yeah, so it's a bit of a haircut.
Both of them?
For the court service manager and the magistrate, so we're doing.
I'm not sure how many
Change it.
supervisors or anything.
Yeah, we have
We may have the 22, I'll go to find it on it. What about the assistant court director? 33,000.
Yeah, he is an attorney.
well,
So the court service
But if you go
director?
to court,
No, I don't think so, but I don't know.
There's assistant court director on here.
I don't know court service director.
What's the name of this particular?
Come on, court service director.
What is it called back there? Juvenile back here or something?
Oh, 33,000. The assistant court director is going up 33,000.
What is her court service director? Okay, court service director was a level 10. Last time we were here, and I'm gonna talk to you, it was a level 10. A level 10 is like a chief deputy. I'm looking at the 22 salary survey for the actual county.
Line 24 is
No, that very top person.
The top person, okay.
and that will also give us something about the assistant director.
Yes, thank you, yeah.
Basically, what they have it compared to down here in the salary survey is like a foreman at the highway department,
Which is,
about $70,000.
it's gonna be more than that, because of law degree.
That's not a,
So, I mean, she's already, yeah, that's not.
She's been there a really long time, but.
like the general session's 2 secretaries and 9, this one's a 10.
I would love to have a $27,000 raise.
Yeah, that's, let's, I mean, go like maybe 90,000, all right, or 90,000, see what happens.
I know who you're talking about, I didn't hear what you're saying.
90,000.
I know where the court system is.
Yep.
Okay, I know who.
That's right, yeah.
I thought you said about that.
Same as the full-time sergeant.
That's $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month.
Yep. They have her on the same level as the Hendersonville and Gallatin library directors,
Yeah, 85.
and they're only making about 56%.
Yeah, well, we're gonna try to bump them up, I think, but not, I mean, still. Some of that though is market, right? I mean,
Chief deputy and the trustees on the same level, that's a good one.
Hey, Matt, he was asking for 119,378 for Steve.
yeah, so we moved him, we put them both at 115 because they're at trial.
Well, do we even know who the other attorney is?
No.
It was Alan Hickey, he was.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Oh, so he's been hired already?
He's been here for a while.
Yeah, and they go to.
He's been here since 19, Alan. 5:30.
Okay, but he was at 72, and you took him to 115. Steve was at 87.5.
No, that's different.
It's the top one up here, the
We're
magistrate.
talking about one who is at 99.
One of his cases. That's like a 50%. That's,
Yeah, that's
That's a lot.
that's not.
yeah.
Did he give any reason for this?
No. Let me see if Mr. Hickey.
I mean, was it
What's
just
his
that we're no
title?
longer paying rent?
I mean,
He's trying to break even with that.
so,
So which one did we change to 115?
Both of them.
Oh,
Steven.
We already got,
Okay,
let's look for that.
assistant court director was court service director on the last study.
like this one, be fair here, like this one, we went that magistrate. Like it's
Both of them are
we're arguing that people who have a law degree, and are actively practicing in.
Go down there.
Like that.
Assistant court director.
So that one is, I feel like even though that's.
That one's
90,000.
$90,000.
Yes.
Assistant
a premium a little above that, and went to 85, but, I mean, not even, I mean, we cut 3/4 off of what he was asking for like 24,000.
Here's,
27.
here's you one to compare to. This position was labeled as a level 9 about what it was required to have.
Those top two are about 11%.
Chief deputy in the register of deeds is also level 9, so that's kind of gives you an idea.
That's how much is that?
That's what we said.
Around
Yeah.
70,000.
But they've been here for quite a while. They've been here up in the 80s, they've been here quite a while.
I mean, but what does the job pay?
Chief deputy and register.
No, he said
79.
So, okay, I mean, I'm good with like 80,000, 79, 80. That makes sense. At least we're internally consistent.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't change, but he was a 9 at the time.
That's what the objective is.
That's the best we've got.
So 79.
I think it's a gimme. Does it really keep anybody?
Right, this is freaking do it, but they're so clear, it's looking at it. 1% like the rest of it.
Oh, so there's 103 minus
Hey, Bob, what did
79.
they change the assistant court director to?
90,000.
Ridiculous.
They're not 66 to 90?
You throwing stuff
No,
out like that?
no, it's 100.
No, we're not. We're looking internally, like to be internally consistent.
It only has 33,000.
So the 79 came from the David's chart,
Down
it up to
to
be
90,000.
like the deputy and D.
So we went over to D, said what is the register, what is the deputy D?
I had my hand like it on that.
Okay, good.
5 minutes ago.
So we just kept the 33 down to 9, which is,
Like,
13%.
like a 13, but I mean, it's kind of funny, right? These are all coming out between 10 and 13%, which is close to that 11. So, okay.
We're being more judicious.
All
All
right.
Just place that 22 scale.
Intake office supervisor. I mean, that doesn't seem crazy. Right here. Right here, I mean, this one's going way up, but, because I mean, they were, I mean, you got an officer, and this is a supervisor, so I get that. I mean, that might be a little bit high, but. How much have we saved on this one?
We've already saved at least probably most of the salary. His total, subtotal, was 41,306, but that, that was minusing out a lot of stuff, but we've captured almost like,
I don't know where we started at.
We stayed, what was it?
well, I'm looking over here on page 53, it was 41,306, because we were removing $120,000 of juvenile court-based stuff, and basically, adding 41,000. I mean, he just took that money and put it in other buckets, and so, and increased it by it. So really, it was.
We dropped about $70,000. All right.
So it's taking,
$70,000.
How much is our rent and fees?
Sweet, that was good.
Juvenile,
It was 100,000.
because that's still a pretty good increase on the overall budget.
And is it here, is it in here?
It was taken out. Well, it was, but we was taken out this year.
We just took it out. I'm in the wrong place, okay, I'm in page.
Hey, Matt, you may want to look at housing the juveniles, it's way over budget.
Oh, all right.
It's got 350,000 in there.
There it's gone, okay.
Beth, can you go to the juvenile, the house for the housing, the juvenile line item on the regular budget? When I made Brian, I had you make Brian read.
That mow in the dark.
It's under, well, the clerk of master was under the,
Are we still in general assessment too, or are we at?
but there it is. If you look at this is where we pay to house juveniles in Rutherford and other places. If you look, that's been the expense, 78, 48, we think maybe 100 this year.
Let's do 100. Let's do 100.
We can.
That's one that we can always, if we need to fix it later,
Yes.
100.
Maybe that's something that we need to ask them now, because the costs go up, I mean, really, we're renting a spot for the juveniles to go. Or is their cost going, maybe we don't know when they got a price increase.
That's the same cost as, I mean, it may go up, what I'm saying
Maybe we
is.
got a new contract.
This 100 is it, like,
Very high.
Okay.
Very high.
Well, they'll come in, that's what we are.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna vote one more time, because it's been an hour and 10
We
minutes.
can, we're close.
Close to,
So we got, get y'all voting? No. 1, 2.
No.
Tiebreaker. Tiebreaker. Okay, you guys, y'all tiebreaker. Y'all have to call.
And then,
Oh, we won't wait.
Actually,
How about IT? I mean,
it failed.
Actually, I want to make
Just do IT.
All right, just IT.
These are
Just do
employees,
IT.
they got to mow their lawn.
Let me point out,
All
I
right.
mean, we're holding.
let me point out one thing about IT. We're not gonna do IT or not?
He meant to ask for the additional six, is what he.
Then we need to hold off on IT.
Okay.
He did.
We need to hold off on
It just wasn't clear.
Wait.
Wish you whipping something new and not going.
All right, let's adjourn.
Second.